to the second hour here on the 10th day of June 2013. The 10th day of June 2013, 866-582-9933. That's the call-in number. If you're listening to the podcast and want more information, want to talk to a living, breathing human being about the health opportunity that we deliver or the wealth opportunity that we deliver, that number, 855-347-3696. That's 855-347-3696. Gonna read an email first before I go to the phones here. I just gotta share this with you. This is too good. I got this email from a colleague up in Canada, and I think his brother or a relative or a coworker sent it to him. And anyway, here it goes. Hey mate, I thought I'd send me this email you can share with Dr. Glidden. Maybe he can use it for his show or something, because people need to be aware of what is happening. Humira isn't working, and I am now off of it. So I went to my rheumatologist today, and their solution is Remicade, which is the only other MD-directed drug available to treat my ankylosing spondylitis and ulcerative colitis. After some research on side effects, I have discovered the following 11 main side effects of Remicade. Number 1, serious and sometimes fatal blood disorders. Number 2, serious infections. Number 3, lymphoma and solid tissue cancers. Number 4, reports of serious liver injury. Number 5, reactivation of hepatitis B. Number 6, reactivation of tuberculosis. Number 7, lethal hepatosplenic T-cell lymphoma. Number 8, drug-induced lupus. Number 9, demyelinating central nervous system disorders. Number 10, psoriasis and skin lesions. Number 11, new onset vitiligo. Yes, you are reading this correctly. 8 of the 11 main side effects of Remicade are lethal. I'm sure not all have a high percentage of occurring, but 0.1% is still too high of a risk in my book. The best I could hope for is psoriasis and some other kind of skin lesions. The worst, well, it won't matter because I'll be dead. Let me just state it again because I am angry. 8 of the 11 side effects to the new drug I am being told I have to take will kill you. I guess killing the patient means I won't have the disease anymore. Does that count as a cure? Love that. Love the way this guy thinks. This, quite frankly, is the way that any rational person would think. Why would you do that? Why would you get on board with a medical system that delivers substandard, lethal, dangerous medicine? I mean, isn't that snake oil? Isn't that the very definition of snake oil? The people telling you that other people are selling snake oil are the people that are selling the snake oil. It's the big pharma. It's the drug companies. Snap out of it. For goodness sake, fire your MD now fire your MD now, just like Joe from Salt Lake City did. Hey, Joe, thanks for the call. Looks like you have a testimony you'd like to share. Thanks for the call, Joe. You are live.
Hey, Dr. Glidden. It's kind of funny that you bring up ankylosing spondylitis, because that's what I was calling about.
How about that? Well, give it to me, buddy.
About 8 months ago, I started taking a product from another company, and at that time, I was taking 2 Aleve at night just to make sure I could get out of bed in the morning, and most days 2 more Aleve midway through the day just to get through the rest of the day. And I was getting a little bit of results, but not much. 4 months ago, I started with the Healthy Bone and Joint Packs, and I tripled up on the glucogel and the EFA, and I now don't feel every little joint in my fingers. I don't feel any pain in my knees anymore, but there's still a little bit of stiffness in the morning. My neck and my spine is still stiff, but everything's really going a lot better. I'm only taking 2 Aleve maybe once a week now. Sometimes it'll be 2 weeks before I have to take any.
So if before you started this program your pain was a 10 out of a 10, what is it now?
Now I'd put it at about 3 or 4.
3 or 4 out of it. Yeah.
That's just on really bad days.
On really bad days. And before, how many really bad days in a week would you be having?
4 or 5 out of 7.
And now, how many really bad days in a week do you have?
1 max.
1 max. Yeah, I mean, it's a remarkable thing, isn't it? Isn't this just a remarkable thing? Now, tell the listening audience, please, your understanding of your diagnosis, ankylosing spondylitis. Tell the listenership that doesn't really know what that is, and how it affected your life.
Well, it started when I was about 14, and I was having what they called growing pains at the time, and it just started getting worse and worse, and eventually my hips started hurting, my lower back started hurting, my neck was stiff, and it turns out that 10 years after I was diagnosed with growing pains, the exact same rheumatologist moved back into the state where I lived, and I didn't remember her at the time, but she remembered me, and she's the one that diagnosed me with ankylosing spondylitis 10 years after she first gave me growing pains.
Wow.
And
yeah. How old are you now?
I'm 39.
So you've been dealing with this for 26 years?
Yeah.
So you've been in pain for 26 years, like 4-5 days out of week, right?
Yeah, I used to do a lot of running, and I can't do that anymore. I've had a hip replacement and left me with a little bit of limp because she suggested that, and it did take a lot of the pain away. And she wanted to do the other hip about 3 months later, but I told her no, I wanted to wait at least 6 more months before I did that. And I still have one original hip at least, and that's going to heal up pretty soon.
Now, how did you find out about longevity, Joe? I'm very very happy that you found out about this. How did you do that?
Actually, I heard you on YouTube. It was just one of those little suggestions when I was going through videos just to kill some time, and one of your little videos came up, and I watched it, and I was like, okay, let me check this out. And I spent the rest of the day, probably about 6 hours, watching more things about longevity, and I gave it a shot.
Son of a gun. I love the way that this all comes together. See, and this is why this is such a cool thing to do, man. This is why, because there's no way in God's green earth, if I just was rolling along with a private practice, you ever would have heard anything about me. You never would have heard anything about this had I not produced that little YouTube thing and put it out there, and by hook or by crook, you found it. The universe led you there, and, you know, your prayers were answered, and that's the way that it goes. This is a beautiful thing about this business, man. So, all right, now, so ankylosing spondylitis, that's a pretty much of a big deal, right? So since you've been doing the the longevity medical nutrition program, in addition to the pain being reduced, have you noticed anything else anywhere else in your body, like your mood, your energy, your sleep, your appetite? I mean, has anything else gotten better or gotten worse? What's going on with the rest of you?
I'm a truck driver, so I don't keep regular sleep hours. One day I'll be up at 3 a.m. The next day I can't start until 12 at night. Just stuff like that. But now instead of getting 3 or 4 hours of sleep here and there, I'm able to actually get 6 to 8 hours of sleep now.
Oh, man, I love it, man. What about weight?
I don't fall asleep all day. I'm slowly dropping weight. I'm not in the gym. I'm just doing basic exercises, movement. I'm more flexible than I was.
Yeah.
Because of the joints and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and how much have you embraced the gluten-free diet? Have you dialed that in yet?
Gluten-free, I've been on for about 2 months now, and I've noticed a big change in actual, I'm not as hungry anymore because I'm actually absorbing the little bit that I do eat.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Well, you're a smart man, Joe. I mean, really, if I had my sound system hooked up, we've been having technical problems today. I'd give you a giant round of applause here. This is a fantastic job that you're doing. Really give yourself a gigantic pat on the back. Now, have you considered the business opportunity with longevity? I mean, are you telling other people in your life about that, or where are you at with that?
Well, I'll be heading home to visit family and everything in 2 weeks. My mother, she's ready to sign up because she saw the difference in me about a month and a half ago. Yeah. My sister's actually a pharmaceutical sales girl.
Oh,
so, no. Yeah, I know. So me and her are going to be having a talk. And my godfather is an MD. I'm not going to do like you say and run away from MDs. I'm going to walk politely up to him and have a talk.
Well, good, man. Joe, thank you so much for the call. Thank you so much for your dedication. Thank you so much for taking my advice, from a total stranger. It must have resonated somewhere inside of you that rings true. Appreciate everything that you do. Now, look, man, you can make a big difference because truck drivers, you're around a lot of different people. I mean, you see a lot of different people at those truck stops. My advice to you would be to pitch this to your brother and sister truck drivers as much as is humanly possible. Get a whole bunch of samples, get some CDs, get a couple of books, and sample this stuff out. Help us spread the word, because your brothers and sisters are suffering needlessly, man. There are tens of thousands of people just like you all across North America, quite frankly, all across the globe, who are going to bed every night after walking through a day's worth of pain, tearing up their guts with Advil, with Tylenol, with pain medication that just puts a fresh coat of paint on the mold, doesn't get to the root cause of the mold whatsoever. Longevity is the way out of the medical mousetrap. It is a gigantic mousetrap that has most people in the free world trapped unwittingly. What's the best way to trap someone? To make them feel like they're not in a trap at all. Like the fella said, you rattle your chains to celebrate your freedom. You rattle your prescription medications to celebrate your health. Ladies and gentlemen, there is a better way. You know what it is. It's the longevity way. We have it dialed right in here for you. $25 million of federally funded research, 26,000 autopsies, and decades of clinical experience by the most lauded naturopathic physician in the world point to one thing. Your body needs 90 essential nutrients in order to function with optimal efficiency. Your car needs oil, your car needs transmission fluid, your car needs air in the tires, your car needs windshield wiper fluid and radiator fluid. Well, guess what? Your body needs raw materials also. One healthy start pack per 100 pounds of body weight per month, and one bottle of selenium per 50 pounds of body weight per month, plus elimination of the 10 bad foods, is a most excellent place to start. Give us a call and we'll dial that in for you. 855-347-3696. That's the number to call to get this stuff at the wholesale price. 855-347-3696. Stick around. We're going to Nebraska when we come back. 866-582-9933. That's the number to call to speak with me live. 866-582-9933. Just like Pam from Nebraska did. Hey, Pam, thanks for the call. You are live.
Oh, hi. I'm glad to talk to you. I listen to you and Ben and Dr. Wallach all the time on GCN, so.
Well, I hope you're learning something, Pam.
I wished I would have before I did what I did.
Yeah, I know, right? If we only knew then what we know now, boy, wouldn't life be different if that were the truth?
Yeah, well, I kind of like have an axe to grind, you know, like with the MDs, because I went in and I had a hysterectomy, and I've had nothing but problems since. You know, I was lied to when I went in, and they talk about informed consent, but they don't inform you at all. They just tell you some surface stuff, and then you have no idea the after effects. So,
and it's crazy right now. How long ago did you have the hysterectomy?
About 3 years ago. And when I went in,
why did they want to do that? Did you have a uterine fibroid, or what was the deal?
I had nothing. I went in there because I had a problem with running to the bathroom too often.
So your problem was frequent urination, and they cut your uterus out?
And not only that, I found out after it took me 2.5 years to get my medical records from them. I found out they took my ovaries too, without my consent.
Unbelievable. Do you have a lawyer?
I'm working on getting one because, I had no idea what they did to me until I got a hold of the HERS Foundation, you know, and...
Wow.
Well,
they've got a license. They've got a license to kill, right? I mean, they've got like James Bond. These guys have a license to kill. They do stuff like this all the time. They get away with it. They walk off scot-free. They put money in their pocket. But you know what the worst thing about all this is, Pam? The people that did this to you went to bed that night and they slept soundly. They have no guilt. They have no remorse. They're like, I don't know, they're like aliens from another planet who have completely lost touch with all emotional viability. They are to be feared. They are to be avoided. Quite frankly, they are to be fired. So thanks for finding your way here. You're surrounded by lots of kindred thinking people all around the world right now. So let me know what it is. How can I help you, Pam?
Oh, nothing. I wanted to make sure other women know about it so they don't get caught up in the same thing. Because
well, all right.
You know,
How's your health right now? And I get it. And the message received loud and clear, ladies and
my
gentlemen.
health is good because I got your tangy tangerine. I got that. So.
Well, all right. Is that you got anything else? Did you get the Healthy Start Pack or just the tangy?
Just the tangies. That's all I can afford right now. But
oh boy, have I got good news for you, Pam. Have I got good news for you. So how did you hear about Youngevity?
Actually, I listened to Alex Jones, so I listened to him, and he had Joe Wallach, and from Joe Wallach, I found you and Ben Fuchs, and so I listen to you guys every day now. All
right, great. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to call Youngevity up.
Okay.
Call Youngevity up, and I want you to give them your name and your address, and they'll find you in their system. And I want you to ask Youngevity, who is your closest upline sponsor that is actively building the business? Who is your closest upline sponsor who is actively building the business? Then you want to call that person and tell them who you are and tell them you would like to join Youngevity at the $10 membership level, and start to build the business. Now, if you do this correctly, I personally know a little girl, I can't remember if she's 7, 8, 9, or 10, she's in Seattle. Within 3 months of doing this business, she was making $600 a month. I mean, more than that. I'm not going to exaggerate, so I'll underconfabulate. She was making around $600 a month in 3 months. Now, that would be to poke in the eye with a sharp stick, wouldn't it? I mean, I'm telling you, there's a big wealth opportunity here, Pam. You channel your frustration into helping other people understand what they can do for their health. So call Youngevity. Find out who is your upline sponsor who is building the business. Call them and tell them you want to know how to make money using Youngevity. Does that sound like a plan?
I love this. I really want to do this so bad.
Well, you know how we do it. I know, and look, what we're doing, you're doing it too. I mean, you just called and you know, you've got a story to tell. You have a message to promote. We have a message to promote. Let's join forces and change the world, girl. That's why we are here. Check it out. Call Youngevity and set yourself up. Call me back in about a month with a progress report. I want to keep track of how you're doing, Pam from Nebraska. Stick around, folks. Coming back shortly. Goodness gracious, great balls of fire. When will the madness end? Well, when you say it's enough is enough, that's when it's going to end. It's going to end at different times for different individuals all around the world, but the point will come when you will wake up and say, you know what, Glidden's been right all along. Enough is enough. I'm going to join the cause. I'm going to take up the standard, the Youngevity standard, and I'm going to make a difference in my community. I'm going to lift people up into health, and by doing so, I'm going to also lift myself up and whoever wants to come along for the ride into wealth. And that combination is a beautiful thing. Let's go to Missouri right now and see what Carol has to say. Hey, Carol, thanks for the phone call, and thanks for waiting so long. You are live.
Well, you're welcome. Hi, Dr. Glidden.
What's going on, Carol?
I have a question, several questions about gynecomastia.
Yeah, gynecomastia, that's the formation of breasts in men. Yikes, how about that?
Well, this is my grandson.
Yeah.
He is 20 years old.
Yep.
He weighs 190. He's 5'10". He's an athlete. And I have no idea how long he's had this. It has become unbearable for him. It's very embarrassing. They're talking about surgery.
Well, they're idiots, for goodness sake. I mean, when all you have is a hammer, everything looks like a nail, right? I mean, for goodness sake. You know, the MDs tell people with cancer to get radiation. They tell people with cancer to get chemo, even though these things have been proven not to be effective. They tell people to do all kinds of ridiculous things. For goodness sake, they told Pam from Nebraska to have her uterus removed because she was peeing frequently. And if that isn't medical malpractice, I don't know what is. I mean, if that's just stupid. If somebody did that to my wife, well, I'm not even going to go there. But that's just criminal, and yet these people get away with it all the time. And why we put them on? Why do you, Carol? How old are you, Carol?
Well, I'm 67.
So you've got a good perspective on, how things have gone here in the United States, right? For the last almost 7 decades now. Why do you think we are so inclined to put our absolute trust in the MDs and just do whatever they say without question? Why do you think that is? Where does that come from? What do you think?
Well, I think we were raised to do what the doctor said do. In my, I can't exactly say that wholeheartedly because my grandmother was half Cherokee Indian.
Yeah.
And she knew a lot of things.
Yeah.
And we didn't just run to the doctor every time.
Yeah.
She did a lot of things on her own.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, I don't know any of the recipes that she used. But
yeah, that's a
she
shame.
made medicines and so forth. And
it's an interesting sociological phenomenon, though, and it's endemic in this culture. Everybody just trusts every single freaking thing that comes out of the mouth of a medical doctor. And it just boggles my mind that this happens, especially given the fact that almost all of the time their therapeutics just make things worse, and yet we continue to trust them. And it just blows my mind that this is happening. But, that's not why you called. So here's a very curious thing to understand, a very interesting thing to understand. Soy and soy products contain a phytoestrogen, which is it's called a phytoestrogen. It's a molecule, it's a plant molecule made by the soybean that mimics estrogen. It's very, very similar in molecular structure to human estrogen. So if someone is doing lots of soy milk or lots of tofu or lots of protein powder made from soy, or a lot of soy-based, energy bars or whatever, and there's tons of soy in this culture today, tons of soy. The simple accumulated effects of all of the phytoestrogens contained in the soy generates gynecomastia. That's what does it. Because it tricks your system into thinking that it has too much estrogen, and, well, what happens if you have too much estrogen? Your breasts get bigger, whether you're a man or a woman. So that's probably the root cause of this. It's almost, I'm making numbers up here, but the vast majority, I'm going to say over 75% of the time, gynecomastia is caused by soy. So this boy needs to completely eliminate all soy products from his diet, 100%, number one. Does he have any other health concerns that you're aware of, asthma or eczema or anything else?
no, not that I'm aware of. He's really pretty healthy. He's going to college on a scholarship for football.
Yeah.
So,
okay. Yeah. Okay. Well, this is, again, another interesting thing to talk about. The human body has needs for certain nutrients in order to keep everything intact and keep the house in order, just like your engine needs so many quarts of oil, right? Well, if you're running your car at 150 miles an hour like a race car driver does, you're going to burn through those 4 quarts of oil way faster than you would if you're just driving the car around town, right? A lot of times these race car drivers, they'll need a complete oil change, halfway through the race. They got to put brand new oil into the engine. Boom. Well, it's the same with athletes. When athletes, especially like football players, that's a tough sport, man. And those people are in it to win it. If you're a football player going to college on a football scholarship, you're not just a weekend warrior. It's a full-time job. You're working out every day. You're running, you're doing aerobics, you're doing weight training, you're building your body up every single day. You're training for this. And that's just like driving that car at 150 miles an hour. So anybody that is seriously engaged in athletics needs to replenish the oil in their tank all of the time. And this is why, you know, every once in a while you'll pick up the newspaper and you'll read that, oh, the high school basketball star or the college football star or the college soccer player had a heart attack on the field, or they snapped their leg like a twig when they were dribbling the ball down the court. Tiger Woods breaks his leg swinging a golf club. Give me a break, for goodness sake. Phil Mickelson develops rheumatoid arthritis. You got to be kidding me. These things happen not because of genetics and not because of a voodoo curse. These things happen because these athletes' bodies have run out of the nutrients that they need to maintain their health, and the stress of exercise is wearing them down at a rapid rate. So this boy needs to take nutritional supplements into his body aggressively, the same way that he is exercising aggressively. Now, the good news is, if he starts to supplement aggressively, he'll notice an almost immediate improvement in his workout routine, in his recovery time, and in his hand-eye coordination and his ability on the field. Everything improves, and it's dramatic, it's noticeable, and it's measurable. I love helping athletes because they see the results almost immediately. So the good news here is that if this boy listens to you and does what you tell him, even for 2 weeks, he's going to notice a difference and he's going to stick with it. And if he can do this all through college, and, you know, maybe he goes into professional sports, his life will be quite different than it would be if he continues down that road in an under-nutrified body. But the first thing to do here, the first thing, Carol, is to have him identify and eliminate 100% of the sources of soy. So no soy products whatsoever. Zero tolerance to anything that has soy in it. He needs to avoid that like it's poison, all right? Number one. Number two, I want him to go to my website, or you can do it for him. It's fireyourmdnow.com, fireyourmdnow.com. And right there on the front page, if you sign up for my free newsletter, you're going to get a copy for free of my good food, bad food list. And on the good food, bad food list are 10 foods that I don't want him to eat at all. Zero tolerance for these 10 foods. So download that list, email it to him, tell him to stop eating those foods, and I want him to take these nutritional supplements. You don't know how much he weighs, do you, Carol?
Yes, 190.
Okay, great. So at 190 pounds, in a perfect world, every month he would take 2 healthy start packs, 4 bottles of selenium. 2 healthy start packs, 4 bottles of selenium, and 2 bottles of liquid Glucogel Plus. That's 2 healthy start packs, 4 bottles of selenium, S-E-L-E-N like Nancy, I-U-M, and 2 bottles of liquid Glucogel Plus, G-L-U-C-O Gel Plus. Make sure it's the plus per month. Now, the last thing he needs is a canister of Rebound FX, Rebound FX. And he's to use the Rebound FX instead of Gatorade when he's working out and when he's playing on the field. And if he starts using Rebound FX when he's playing a game, within 2 weeks, everybody on the team will be using Rebound FX because they will notice such a remarkable difference. When you compare what's in Rebound FX with Gatorade, I mean, it's laughable. It is laughable. And professional athletes, we have NBA guys, we've got the whole Denver Nuggets, for goodness sake, is taking this stuff now. We've got professional hockey players, Olympic athletes. This is starting to gain some legs in professional athletics. This is a fantastic supplement. He will notice a difference just from that alone. So if he's open-minded and is going to listen to you, then, you know, hook him up with those products just for 1 month, and he will notice a difference. And when he eliminates the bad foods from his diet and identifies and eliminates soy products, then we're going to really be on the road to recovery. And he should see the gynecomastia resolve nice and slowly, like watching ice melt in the springtime. It's going to take about 6 to 9 months for that to go away completely once he's eliminated all of the soy. Now, was there another question in there, Carol?
No, there wasn't. We're longevity users ourselves, and we're hopeful that we can sign him up and get him going so he can make some money.
Okay, well, that's even better. So here's the deal with that. Hook him up with one of the Rebound FX boxes of samples, all right? Give him the Rebound FX sample pack and have him give it to his teammates, the guys that he works out with, because, you know, buddies take what buddies tell them to take, right? And I'm telling you the truth, 100% of the weekend warriors and full-time athletes that I have recommended take the Rebound FX love it. They don't just like it. They love it, and they keep taking it. This is the easiest thing to get people to do in the world because it works with such remarkable effectiveness. So hook him up with the Rebound FX sample packs. Tell him to stop eating the soy, and the rest should be history. It sounds good to me, Carol from Missouri. Thanks so much for the call. Thanks for doing everything that you do. As it turns out, Carol from Missouri, guess what? You are the last best hope your family has to live healthy and wealthy lives. And that's a great combination because what good is wealth if you don't have your health? And, you know, I'd rather be wealthy and healthy than poor and healthy. I mean, who wouldn't be? Ladies and gentlemen, these are just the sad facts of life. Money is good. Who told you that money is bad? The people with money told you that money is bad because they wanted to keep it and they didn't want you to have any. Go out and grab as much as you can because that's how you're going to do good in the world. Money is power. Money is a good thing, ladies and gentlemen. Grab as much of it as you can. I'm Dr. Peter Glidden. This is Fire Your MD Now. 866-582-9933. The lines are open. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Dr. Peter Glidden. Listening to the podcast. Want info? 855-347-3696. If you'd like to tweet, it's springtime after all. Follow me at Dr. Glidden. That's DrGlidden. Of course, we're all over Facebook. And easiest way, fireyourmdnow.com. Fireyourmdnow.com. If you forget all of those, just do a Google search for Dr. Glidden. I always pop up number one and then just follow the links. You will find your way to me. And when you find your way to me, click on the button to join Youngevity, join Team Glidden, and let my associates, members, colleagues, and friends help you to grow your Youngevity business into a giant. You know why you can do it? Because everybody in the world needs your help. You don't think anybody needs your help? You've got your head in the sand. Because everybody in this country is sick and suffering. Everybody is up against it, and everybody is up against it hard. And conventional medicine, they got nothing for us. They've never had anything for us. Well, they've had a couple of things for us, right? I mean, they've given us Novocaine. They've given us morphine. They've given us the sterile technique. They begrudgingly gave us the sterile technique. Dr. Semmelweis, who was the kind of the originator of the sterile technique, was vilified by his colleagues for having the audacity to assert that if obstetricians washed their hands before delivering babies, that they'd have a better outcome, and that would reduce the prevalence of childbed fever, which was an infectious disease which happened in pregnant women, killed so a high percentage of women who were pregnant. I mean, it was back in the 1700s, early 1800s, it was still, to get pregnant was like, you know, walking Occam's razor. On one side is death, and the other side is a fiery pit. Well, what's it going to be? Well, I don't know. Maybe I'll make it all the way to the end of the razor, but my feet are going to be all cut up. If the childbirth itself didn't kill you, probably an infection given to you by the doctor was going to kill you. It was a big, bad voodoo daddy back in the day, and there was one doctor, his name was Semmelweis, and Semmelweis noticed that the surgeons coming out of surgery had bloody aprons, and they would wipe their hands on the apron and go in and deliver babies, and all of their patient women would get childbed fever, but the midwives' women, patients, never got childbed fever, and Semmelweis put two and two together. What's the difference? Well, the doctors used bloody hands. So there had to be something in the blood that caused the fever, and voila, was born the first kind of thought about infectious disease. But because it was such a radical notion to the established intellectual idiots, the arrogant, full of hubris, jar-headed, lock-jawed, goose-stepping medical members, which is the good way to characterize the modern medical system of today. They are all in lockstep together. They're following each other off the cliff. They're cowards. They never challenge authority. They never challenge the prevailing ideas. They'll tell you that the BRCA gene is a gene when it's a mutated gene, and they never look to see what the cause of the mutation is. They just think that you can inherit it. It's nonsense, ladies and gentlemen. It goes on and on and on. It is a ship of fools. The best possible thing that you can do is do not listen to your medical doctor. For goodness sake, just stop it. Every time you hear a medical doctor open his mouth, walk away or turn your iPod up really, really loud and just smile vacantly. Or better yet, get a big set of blaster stereo speakers and point it right at the son of a gun and drown him out. Even better if you can do it in the public square. And every time a medical doctor screws something up, I want you to make a big sign, rent a pickup truck for a day, and drive around and around the hospital saying, "My doctor hurt me. I want something. Justice." You don't ask for it, you're not going to get it. And then you're going to see the wheels of society. You'll get a taste, a personal taste of what this world is really like. They've got us by the you-know-what, ladies and gentlemen. The best way to work against them is to ignore them. This is why we advise you to fire your medical doctor. I'm going to advise you to fire your medical doctor every day that I'm on the air, and hopefully that's going to be for a very, very long time. Tell your family, tell your friends, tell everyone in your life about this radio show, and join me tonight on the live webinar, 8 Central. Dr. Glidden, over and out.